Alright, so we got a criticism sucks for the masses. So real talk, criticism sucks, because I know I'm gonna be meandering quite a bit getting through this. It's a lot of bullshit, a lot of fucking clusterfuck behavior here, but bear with me. Number one, I want to preface this video and say that when a game comes out, it is free to the court of public thought. That has not changed for any game, whether it's a high scoring game or a low scoring game. You know, there's been various opinions on people saying they like said a low scoring game, maybe they don't like said low scoring game. There's been people that have said I like this high scoring game, I don't like this high scoring game. In between popular opinions, unpopular opinions, none of this stuff is going away. No matter what we do, it's gonna be here when we're in the grave, when we're 6 feet under. All right, but the main thing is what I'm seeing now is not even relating to that mentality of waiting until a game comes out and then having it be privy to the court of public opinion. What we're seeing now is people that are prejudging a game well before release. No demo, no anything to really judge a bar of quality as to what that game lies on, right? And then people kind of just say, oh, this game's gonna be a woke failure, it's gonna be a flop, it's gonna be shit, well before the game launches. And then when they are incorrect, they tend to crash out. They tend to just rage, have their blood boil because their prediction was not right and none of the reviews align with their narrative whatsoever. So we have this whole crash out with Dragon Age Veilguard, and it is honestly hilarious. This is the funniest thing I think I ever seen in a long time, and it starts off with this post by Ash and Luca, and she says, and I quote, "It's been completely baffling to me that in the last 2 months or so, grifting YouTubers and their brain dead echo chamber fan bases seem to have been sharing in a mass delusion because there had been ample evidence that this game would be massively and relatively well received leading up to launch." And this is talking about Dragon Age Veilguard, which is, as you can see, the signs are there, the writing's on the wall. It is number 4 on the top sellers on Steam. And then now we have the review scores in an 80 on PC, an 84 on PS5, a 93 on Xbox. I assume it's kind of going up and down depending, but mostly it's sticking to that solid 80 number from what I see, and people are very livid about this. Like, I see Pirate Nation, who got blown the fuck up by Nintendo for eliciting illegal ROMs and posting that publicly as if Nintendo wasn't gonna put a 187 in your ass. He says, hey, Eurogamer says Dragon Age Veilguard is the best BioWare game they have played. Jesus fucking Christ, this is just clickbait journalism. Well, that's just their opinion, as most journalism is. We don't have to necessarily always agree with that. I understand that, but it is their thought process. Whether it's dumb, smart, or logical, that is what they are entitled to. We can counter argument and stuff like that, but here's the thing. It just sounds like you're crying to me as opposed to citing out what is really wrong with the article. It's mostly because it's a score you don't agree with, so you have a problem with that. And I'm like, I thought you guys didn't care about what game journalists thought. You are crying like a bitch right now. That's what I said. Like, I thought you guys didn't care. IGN, Kotaku, scum of the earth. You know, even I said it. But you're caring way too much about what they give a video game as opposed to chronicling something dumb, something inept, a bad faith argument. No. You are crying like a bitch because they gave Dragon Age Veilguard a score that you don't agree with. What? What are we talking about here? Like, why don't you play the game and give it a score yourself? Or you're not gonna do that, right? You're not gonna have any validity behind that, right? Because Pirate Nation, Mr. Pirate Nation over here likes to elicit ROMs and shit, and just be just this overall grifter and shit like that. Not even being beneficial to more stuff like emulators in the slightest. You're just a random fucking pirate that got completely destroyed by Nintendo. Then there's this guy. This shit is just, it gets funnier as time goes on. Anyone handing out 9 out of 10s or 5 out of 5s for Dragon Age Veilguard are getting blocked. Fuck you. So you guys are like really into this now. You're really mad and very upset that a game is getting possible 9s or 10s, that you're going out of your way to block reviewers just because. Why? You know, the first thing I would do is just either not pay any attention or time of day to Kotaku, IGN, or fucking Polygon, because I already know they're complete idiots. So why would I care about what they give a game? I will form my own opinion, and if I like it, I guess I'm in the herd. I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. If I'm in the middle, I'm in the middle. That's kind of how it always goes. But you are really, really pissed that this game is getting 9s, that you're going out of your way to block people over a score. It's so ridiculous. Like, I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, all right? It is preposterous that people are acting like this. Oh, they couldn't actually like it. How could they? Cope harder. This is cope. This is complete and 100% copium. You are coping and seething. This is, you're not believing what you're seeing here, sir. All right, just like go somewhere, touch grass. Like, I know it's a common thing, you guys don't like to hear it, but I think it is something that is without saying. A lot of you motherfuckers need to touch grass outside, get sunlight. It is healthy for you. You shouldn't be worrying about someone giving a game a fucking 9 out of 10 unless they're being like super egregious throughout the whole review. All right, moving on. Even I said this, all right, and this is Dragon Age Veilguard getting an 86 on OpenCritic, getting 100% recommended by critics alone. And I said, I'm loving this new era of grifters being absolutely wrong about a game they grifted on when it comes to review scores, saying it's going to be a complete disaster, flop, it's going to get like low scores. Definitely the mainstream media is going to have something against it. I don't know at this point. Like, are you expecting a narrative flip? I don't get it. You know, you would be celebrating and sucking 5 dicks if the mainstream media decided to give this game like a 4 out of 10, which I am sure that you are putting the Mr. Matty Plays review and the Skill Up review on a pedestal. Skill Up, the guy that fucking hated Yakuza and DMC and said some shit about DMC that was egregious. Yeah, Skill Up. If this game is put to any sort of culture vulture pedestal where a mainstream reviewer did not like it, you would suck their dick. And then if they do like it, then it's time to pull out Old Reliable, Old Faithful. Everyone was paid off shields, paid off reviewers, paid off this, paid off that. It's the same old shit that you guys do each and every single time. And one of my comments said it best here. It's only fine when it's against your narrative. So your narrative is this game has to score a 4, a 3, a 2, a 0, a 1, and I'll be happy. If someone says it's a 7, an 8, a 9, you got a problem. That's how it goes. It only works if it's for your narrative. If it's against your narrative, you get fucking mad. You get upset. And that's what you're doing right now. I know you can't handle the harsh reality, but that's what it sounds like to me. This is another example of someone saying, oh, the sales are a failure, pre-order sales flopped, and then top seller of Steam globally, number 5, then it shot up to number 4 over Steam Deck. There's that. You have the reality there. It's like doom and gloom with anti-woke grifters all the time, and it's so like tiring. I'm sure you guys are tired today after this whole thing with Veilguard, but still, I digress. Then there's lies like this, where you guys tend to say, and this is like just insanity to me. So let's get the lie out first. You guys are going against people giving their honest thoughts on the game, liking it more than the cons you try to illustrate. Your lie here is that apparently they avoided giving review codes to people that didn't seem overly fond of the game. I wonder what the Metacritic score is going to be in a few weeks. And then you have a guy here that says that was already confirmed to be not true. As someone who was very critical of the game and BioWare had gotten their code early, and then he tries to backpedal and say, oh, I didn't say all people, LOL, right. And then you have the screen cap of Varadark, who is once again getting on this train of saying people were denied codes for being negative. And then there's this comment that says Dantix has been critical and skeptical of the game too, and he got a code from EA and BioWare. I've 100% completed my Dragon Age Veilguard review. It will be posting on the day of the embargo lift, which was a couple of hours ago. And he says, I have been extremely critical and I received a code fairly early. You guys are lying. 100%. What happened to BioWare and EA silencing people? You have a YouTuber that was invited to get a code early, saying he was critical, put up a review, and he was not denied. I'm sure there are some people that do get denied. Not everybody gets in. We fucking know this. But this is a blatant lie. This is 100% misconception. This is a misnomer. And a lot of you people that grift and don't fact check, you should be ashamed of yourselves. 100%. Nothing but pure insanity and shame. And then there's this. This is the guy who made Baldur's Gate 3, and he likes Veilguard. And I see these mental midgets are going after someone that made an RPG, Larian, that was the game of the year. And he liked this game, and then you're telling him people need to quit accepting pure garbage because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings? This game comes nowhere close to Baldur's Gate 3. How dare you disrespect the own game that you made? He's saying this to a developer. What the fuck? Okay, of Baldur's Gate 3. What's wrong with the guy who made the game appreciating that game and liking another game? You motherfuckers do not understand nuance worth a damn. Developers, they can like and dislike a game without putting someone down. That's kind of how they operate, right? The guy who worked on Baldur's Gate 3, here's my opinion, I'm enjoying the game, and if it's for certain fans of my game, you might like it. And then it's like people who get their opinions from other YouTubers who live vicariously through numbers and through what some other anti-woke YouTuber says. You are telling the guy who actually played the game that he can't like the game. What the fuck? All right, this is how bad gaming discourse is right now. Seriously, no validity from these people whatsoever. Another guy who played the game says he finds it funny when people disagree with his Dragon Age Veilguard review, yet most of the people complaining haven't even played the game themselves. Some are having a meltdown over a review. You people are sounding astronomically invalid. All right. And I know the truth hurts, but you're gonna hear it today. You're gonna hear it today. Look at this shit. This joke is funny. How grifters must be feeling right now. I'm ruined. I have nothing left but Concord. Like, Concord is the only mainstream failure that you seem to latch onto in these other unknown games that are not big AAA releases, like Unknown 9. That looks like a fucking AA game in my opinion from Bandai Namco, and I'm sure they made all their money back on Dragon Ball anyway. All right, I'm telling you the reality of that situation. Fucking Dustborn, nobody cares about Dustborn. Like, I can honestly tell you, nobody really talked about it. It really got like next to no buzz in terms of, I'm talking about like the positive side too, like just the people that are positive for this game. I have not seen it, and mostly I see Antiwokes playing Dustborn, needing to examine it, experiment with it, just because you guys are giving the game more attention than the supposed leftoids that you criticize. All right, that's another reality. Why are you playing that shit knowing full well that you don't want to support it, that you don't want to actually put your hands on it or whatever, but you went out and you bought the game for hate clicks, I guess? Maybe pat yourself on the back. Again, I don't know what else to tell you, but apparently it's too much to ask to go out and play Dragon Age for yourself and form your own opinion. But hey, that's just me. And this is funny. Okay, there's a controversy on top of this. One of the reviewers who reviewed the game and didn't like it, Mr. Maddie Plays, this guy, I seen him a couple of times. I really haven't delved too much into Mr. Maddie Plays. I just know that he is a popular reviewer. Apparently, from what people are saying here, the game like leaked a couple of days ago, and this is Mr. Maddie's avatar. And this is the avatar. That's his avatar in the review, right? And this is his avatar in the leaked footage, or this is the avatar that we see in this footage, I should say. But notice how it looks very similar to his. And here's a close-up face of that same avatar. It's looking like Mr. Maddie Plays might have either leaked the game himself, or one of his friends, quote unquote, managed to get a hold of this footage somehow, some way from Mr. Maddie Plays. We don't know the exact situation here, but I'm gonna say this honestly. If this guy is caught and it is true that he leaked footage before the NDA just to get either more clicks, clout, etc., he is royally fucked. All right, they're gonna come down on him hard. He is royally fucked. There is no way out. He's not gonna get a code ever again. All right, he's gonna end up like Dan Allen Gaming. And before I go to Dan Allen, I want to say it's funny that this whole account that was talking negatively before with the leaks on Dragon Age Veilguard is suddenly mysteriously gone and deleted. And just some of these posts no longer exist, and now he changed his ads, and some of the stuff that he's saying to people online is absolutely disgusting. But what the fuck is this, man? You know, I don't understand. This is just over glorified disgusting. I don't know how else to label it, but if this alt is discovered to be Mr. Maddie Plays, or maybe game developers won't take mercy on this guy, he's screwed. No other way around it. His career with early access is over if this is validated. Now, I know the internet, they love to be cyber sleuths, right? But it's looking kind of sus. He probably should make a statement about this, because yeah, these two avatars are looking pretty similar. I thought to myself that maybe he hit a customize button. Maybe people could find that in the game. See if you can customize this rook right here in particular without having to go into deep customizing. But if that's not the case, if he's not a preset, it's looking pretty grim for your boy Maddie. It's looking grim for this dude. All right, because the review you're holding up, this guy might have leaked some shit behind the scenes. Now, this has happened before with Dan Allen Gaming, and Dan Allen Gaming came out. I know it's fucking Kotaku, but whatever. I don't give a fuck, right? Dan Allen was under a pseudonym on Twitter, and he was called the Real Insider, and he was leaking games early that he had access to codes for Assassin's Creed games. I think this is how Assassin's Creed Mirage got leaked by Mr. Dan Allen himself. And eventually Jason Schreier, who is part of Bloomberg, caught wind and saw like, yo, some of this is not adding up. Dan Allen says it wasn't him. I know enough. I know a little bit of Spanish to say that this tweet was eliminated, eradicated, deleted, okay, by Dan Allen himself when it comes to admitting fault. Then Jason Schreier comes out and says he looks through both of the accounts, sees that they post at the same time. When it came to getting a code for AC Mirage, it would explain how this Real Insider knew the code names of AC. Therefore, he broke the embargo himself. More of this, more correlations with Saints Row and Dan Allen. It's looking pretty rough. Is Saints Row the game of the year? Buggy, boring, soulless. It all seems to kind of correlate, align. Dan Allen, I think, also deleted his apology as well. I don't know if it's still up, but here's more correlations. Metal Hell Singer, all the songs, right? Every song that he knows. Insider information, NDAs being broken. Dan Allen talking about Metal Hell Singer on the same month. This is insane. All that for a dopamine hit, a drop of fucking clout. That's not worth it. You literally like fucking got yourself blacklisted in the gaming industry, and the same thing could possibly happen to Mr. Maddie Plays. We'll see what happens, but man. And I just want to go through a sizzle reel of what I think is occurring and just sort of share with you guys my ultimate opinion on this whole prejudging of things and how people kind of do it. So here's learning the law, and I'm gonna summarize and paraphrase all this. He says, hey, they introduce your first non-binary character in Call of Duty. Are you gonna play with this character on the battlefield? Are you excited for the ultimate pronoun warrior, etc.? This guy saying, and this game is dead. I love saving my money and not buying woke games. All right, the game is dead. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has reached a Sunday concurrent of players that peaked of about 306k, god damn, on Steam, improving over the 249k Friday peak. This is a 61% improvement over Modern Warfare 3's launch weekend and the highest concurrent of player count since December 2022. Let's keep going. Apparently it sold like really fine on launch. It's like currently sitting at the #2 top selling game on Steam. So even with the whole Game Pass shit and people saying, oh, it won't sell because of Game Pass, it's still #2 top selling on Steam. Reminds me of the boycott Modern Warfare fucking shit with the servers. Oh, we want more dedicated servers, let's boycott, but everyone's playing Modern Warfare 2. It never stops, man. Holy shit. Okay, so Black Ops, you know, is getting some numbers in. Wow. I did not even know that there was grifting on Sparking Zero. This kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I think this guy is trying to call out Keith, saying the only grift is you mentioning people overreacting to Sparking Zero's inaccurate dialogue and pretending that was woke criticism just so you can pretend it succeeded despite anti-woke criticism that didn't exist. Glad I can help. And then he says, gotcha, where's all this from? Which is the post of a search on Google, and it has like 200,000 results here saying that there are people arguing if Sparking Zero was a woke game. It was on the Steam communities, it was on our gaming circle jerk on Reddit, a lot of posts there, it was on YouTube, it was also on the Steam community again, which seems like complete cancer. Yeah, just because you think something doesn't exist in form of a conversation doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I have someone doing that in my comments right now. Just because you didn't see it does not mean that it doesn't exist on the internet as a talking point or a discussion anywhere. When you say that it doesn't exist, I guess maybe you should say, oh, it's just a low tier argument of sorts, like not a lot of traction is coming from it, but it is Endymion TV. He is a big anti-woke channel, so I would assume yes, that's coming from somewhere. And let's see, oh my god, SBI has declared war on Dragon Ball fans. I won't let that happen. Akira doesn't deserve to be disrespected. Of course you realize this means war. You know, funny thing, I saw that scene with Trunks in another video. There was no commentary, just showing that specific match triggers a different dialogue. When I heard Trunks say no cap, my literal first thought was Trunks doesn't talk like that. It's like, I don't know, people. I just don't care that Trunks says something that is modern dialogue, like no cap. It's just, it doesn't bother me of the slightest, but people ranting about this surely exist, and the evidence is there, and the proof is in the pudding. And this supposed woke game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, sells 3 million copies in the first 24 hours. Don't fuck with Dragon Ball's name, because yeah, that shit's gonna do crazy numbers. But I thought woke games don't sell, right? I thought that Sweet Baby games, as you guys proclaim, don't sell. So if you're saying this for Sparking Zero, then well, I got bad news for you. What else is next? Oh yeah, people that were grifting about X-Men 97. It's a massive flop, worse ratings than Echo. Let's see what else. How come no one's watching? It's the worst performing series on Disney Plus, worse than Miss Marvel and What If. Amazing article there. Amazing journalism there. It's over for Disney and Marvel is dead. Mega flop. You know, some of this usual shit. Grifters, they live in their own world. And then X-Men 97 has like a 99 fresh tomatoes by critics, a 94 fresh by the general population of users. Critically acclaimed across the board and getting a season 2, but somehow it's a flop. All right, whatever you say. Let's move on to Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is gonna flop. It's a failure. You see where I'm going with this. You see where I'm going with this. It's a failure. Some people saying it will succeed, obviously. Some people saying it won't succeed. This one in particular, where is it? Bloober Team will fail. That was a year ago. It might fail. Let's see, let's go down the list. Silent Hill 2 remake will fail. Holy shit. And then it comes out to an 86, a 93 by the users. Critical acclaim for Bloober Team, sold 1 million copies in the span of 3 days, which is about equivalent to the entire lifespan of Silent Hill 2. It only sold like 1 million copies in its entire lifespan. This game outdid that in 3 days. Successful. I guess we move on to the next target. So Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Clearly we don't know the verdict on sales, but it came out to an 83, got review bombed, people giving it a 0. So I can tell that this whole censorship thing does not equate to nuanced reviews, because it's no way the game is a 0 out of 10. Like, no fucking way. You couldn't tell me and convince me in any world otherwise that game is like a 0. Then it comes out and it ends up on the top selling of the NPD for September 2024. It is the 11th best selling on both of these fronts right here. This is PlayStation data. Let's see, what is that for? Steam, PlayStation, Xbox platforms. It was on Xbox and PlayStation. Dead Rising is on the list. I thought it was going to be a colossal woke failure that sells 0 copies. No, I guess not. Let's continue on. Sonic and Shadow Generations. Grum's here, the guy who can't touch grass or can't touch his wife, is complaining about the censorship of Sonic X Shadows, and then complaining, and then people in the comments are jumping on the bandwagon saying that, oh, someone just straight up told him you don't even play Sonic games. God damn, bruh. Someone saying slippery slope, it's a pass for me, it's unnecessary for kids, all this other stuff. Again, I wonder if anyone calls it a failure. I don't know. Never buy a game with the woke mind virus. I guess people don't give a shit about this whole woke mind virus because, once again, Sonic X Shadow surpasses 1 million sales in opening weekend. A lot of these games are doing well, selling good, getting good scores. What is happening? What's going on? Metaphor having politics, and this guy sort of disagreeing with the dialogues here, all this other stuff with the localization, of course, talking about cultures and tolerance and all this other stuff, right? Now Persona had like similar themes to Metaphor too, so it's dumb. You guys are like fucking annoying. You guys are calling every game woke, blah blah blah. It's just like, doesn't even matter, because Metaphor scores a 93, 91 with the people, and it sells 1 million copies globally in its first day when accounting for both physical and digital sales. This is particularly impressive when considering that the wildly popular title Persona 5 took an entire month to sell 500k in Japan and 1.5 million sales globally. I'm gonna end the video at this point, but I want to just say this. What is the lesson we've learned today? And I believe that, you know, no matter if you see good reviews, mixed reviews of Dragon Age is disappointing, you're gonna see that stuff, right? On every game. You're gonna have a reviewer that's a critic that is upset with every game as well. The overall consensus, however, on Dragon Age is that it has an 84 right now. Maybe it could go to 83, who knows, but that's still an 8 out of 10 is still a great score. And well, for some reason an 8 out of 10 is the new 2 out of 10, and it is the new nuclear Hiroshima bomb to a lot of grifters that didn't get what they want with that score, whether it's Ghost of Tsushima, whether it's Wukong, whether it's Stellar Blade. No one can ever seem to be happy and content with missing the main ingredient, which is worry about your own fucking score. All right, there's no need to try to validate yourself through someone else's fucking review. Worry about your own review score. I don't care if a game I like comes out and it's a fucking 4 out of 10. If I'm excited, I'm still playing it, and I'm gonna give my own personal opinion on it. That's the first thing. I don't understand people getting so peeved at IGN. IGN is fucking stupid, all right? There's no way I would take them seriously in terms of the form of my entertainment. So you guys getting tight that they gave a game a 9 out of 10 is just so funny to me. Like, IGN, the same company we riffed on for time and time again, just being outlandish, too much water, IGN. I stopped taking them seriously long ago. Why are you people taking them seriously? I don't understand. Again, it's because the review does not fit your narrative whatsoever. And because of that, you are angry and upset despite not caring about game journals, which you like to regurgitate over and over and over again. If a game sells well, who gives a shit? If a game doesn't sell well, who gives a shit? Will it stop you from enjoying it? No. All right, that's the first thing. We need some common sense. We need some fucking reality. We need to come fucking back down to earth, because some of you just live on planet Mars, airbrained. All right, you don't understand individualism. You live through other people and YouTubers, and therefore you are perpetually upset. And when they don't get what they want, you are also angry in your hive mind. Calm down. All right, it's gonna be successes and failures of your favorite games and least favorite games. It's going to happen. You have to deal with it. This is the gaming climate. Nobody knows what is going to be a smash hit or not. You have no dictation over that whatsoever, or anyone else's wallet. So what is the big deal? Just walk away from the game, don't buy it, and you will be happy, but you're never happy. That's the way you are, right? And that's the fan bases that you cater to, and the fan bases that you go into. So I'm not surprised by this behavior, but we need to come back down to reality. Again, you know, I'm not mad that something is successful. Good. I mean, cool, right? It doesn't really bother me. It's fine. If people are getting more of what they want, hey, that's cool. I don't have to like the game, but I also really don't care if I can walk away from it just like that and I never have to talk about said game again or buy said game. I'm content. I'm good. We're missing that mentality. And if you're going to be so triggered, so adamant against the game, why not pick it up yourself and then do an in-depth review, and then you can get something out of it. Again, I don't know what people get out of talking about something that they have no plans in playing, remaining invalid, and still trying to talk about the game as if the gameplay is trash, but they have no real basis because they never actually touched a demo, a portion of the game, etc. So you're straight up lying out of your teeth. You can talk about the story, you can talk about the cutscenes, that's fine on YouTube. You could play that through YouTube. But when people talk about other things that's best played on a controller, and they try to go in depth and they have no factual basis, they don't know what's going on in the game, they get questioned by real fans, it looks a little bit weird. It looks suspect. All right, and I think real analysis is starting to become tainted and poisoned in the gaming community by these people. It needs to stop, and that's why a lot of people are calling out the anti-woke for their bullshit and misinformation, and it's going to continue and keep rising. The more dumb and the more you crash out and the more sensitive you guys look. You just gotta deal with it and move on. And if you can't, well, that's your problem. That's a first world problem. That's your issue. It's not going to be everyone else's issue. Either way, I am Renegade Operative. Men lie, women lie, but the numbers, they don't lie. See you later.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard.